Kapag bumagsak si Aguinaldo, may panibagong titindig. Pero ito, hindi ito napapalitan.
Gerald Tarrag's Goyo, ang Batang General, cannot be any more different compared to its predecessor, 2015's General Luna. While Luna was outwardly loud and furious, full of fire and brimstone, Goyo looks inward, a contemplative, numbing calm before a storm. The two are heaven and earth, fire and ice. Yet both films manage to interrogate the concepts of heroism and nation in interesting ways. Here's my take. In Goyo, the revolution led by Emilio Aguinaldo is on the run. While the Americans plan to rout Aguinaldo's remaining forces, Aguinaldo and his men stay in Pangasinan for 5 months. These 5 months, as we come to find out, will be squandered by the revolution. This wastefulness may stem from denial, or perhaps, at least on a subconscious level, the revolution knows it has failed with Luna's death. This period constitutes what, in his book A Question of Heroes, Nick Joaquin calls the revolution's Gotordamerong, a twilight of the gods. Yet these are false gods whose grandeur and legacy are taught to us in schools. They are men who ended up worshipping their own hype, whose follies and flaws as people ultimately doomed them to failure. In a sense, Goyo is removed from the explosive Luna and feels more like the 2004 film Der Untergang, or Downfall, that film about the last days of Hitler and his men, where an active denial of reality undercuts the Reich's last days. The Gregorio del Pilar of this story is far removed from the hero we remember in textbooks. Here, he is a womanizer, content to party and hang out with his brothers and friends, rather than prepare for the revolution's end. He has turned from a loyal and brave soldier into a person who believes his own legend, whose greatness is thrust upon him forcibly, a greatness that he cannot handle. Del Pilar doubts this legend himself, but throughout the film, he uses this denial as a mechanism to cope with the premise of his own mortality. The film also challenges and deconstructs the lessons from Luna, in that while we should rise up to help the nation as a whole, we should not do so by glorifying strong men or false idols. Our feelings do not make us bad people, but we should not be prisoners to our feelings. In Goyo, the loyalties of Aguinaldo's men are aimed towards figureheads and not the nation, and this leads to a lot of questionable decisions. The film inevitably moves towards the fateful battle at Tirad Pass, a moment depicted as a glorious moment in other forms of media, perhaps most gaudily in Carlo Capara's Tirad Pass. But here we see a defending force with the advantage of terrain overtaken by a tactically superior force in less than 6 hours. And though it is not spelled out overtly, the lowlanders' arrogance and discriminatory nature betrays them in the end. There is no glorious shot of the young general on his steed, leading his troops into one last stand. Del Pilar's fall is unceremonious, even mundane. His realization towards heroism comes, but it is tragically not enough. When Del Pilar is stripped of his clothes and belongings, also a metaphorical undressing of the legend we have been taught to revere, General Aguila, hero, lover, revealing a man, just a man, underneath. That's the paradoxical core of the film, that there are no heroes, yet all of us are. Historical figures are men, just like you and me, prone to their own failings, and they will fall, but the idea of country and national identity, people and culture, these things will always be constant. There are no saviors, no magic bullets to solve our problems. Blind faith towards false idols is dangerous and foolish. We change the world, ultimately, through our own selves.
Ika'y nakulong sa maling pag-iisip. Pangarap mo raw mananatiling isang panaginip.